Greetings, everybody. All right, we're going to get started here. Hold on. Sorry. I was finishing up some dinner. All right, there we go. All right. Yes, greetings. Listen, I don't know if I know you guys are tuning in from everywhere, all over the world, but if any of you are in South Florida like I am, it is everything but sunny in South Florida. So if for some reason the stream goes out, it's probably because I lost power, because we've been getting, at least where I'm at out west here, we've been getting slammed with some pretty hefty thunderstorms. So if the stream goes out, it is what it is. All right, guys. But yeah, let's dive into it. Let me, guess I need to open up there we go. All right, there we go. Cool. All right, so welcome everybody. Tuesday. It is Tuesday night here for me. And there we go. Let me just make sure I got YouTube up for you guys. All right, perfect. We are golden. All right, awesome. There we go. Cool. All right, let's get into it. So economic calendar, everyone should know FOMC's tomorrow for the US dollar. I don't know. I honestly, I didn't see really anything that Bank of England really gave out. Yeah, whatever. It wasn't much. Okay. Yeah, I really didn't see any volatility out of what happened out of the Bank of England Governor Bailey here. But tomorrow, yeah. Listen, tomorrow it's on. We've got tomorrow afternoon, FOMC. I'm sure the federal funds rate's going to stay the same at 0.25%. The volatility is going to come in at 2:30 though, when we get that press conference, when old Jerome Powell decides to grace us with some words of wisdom on what the Fed is going to do as far as inflation goes, as far as yeah, at this point, I don't even know if they know what they're doing. I think they're just kind of just saying what they want to say to try to get the economy going. But I don't know, from a fundamental standpoint, I just don't know what the Fed is going to be doing. I don't know what their game plan, what their forecast. What I have no idea. You know, for those of you guys that like, yeah, I don't know. For those of you guys like watch sports, just think about the team that's been on the biggest losing streak of the season, and what the coach is going to say to the media about what they're going to do to turn it around. That's what I think the Fed's going to be doing tomorrow at the press conference. If you haven't seen it though, you know, like Australian NFP is going to be tomorrow night, at least tomorrow night for me. So Sydney session, they're going to come out with their unemployment stuff. I'm eager to see what happens with that. I do have some Australian pairs that I am looking at, so as well as the NZD. If you just go back and back test it, anytime there's big Aussie news, the Kiwi does move with it. So we'll see how that goes. And that's pretty much it. I mean, the rest of the week is kind of just really slow. The week's already kind of started out slow for me. I did look for a position this morning on GJ. Really didn't give anything, so you know, I really didn't press it. So all right, let's dive into it. And my allergies are killing me right now, so if you guys hear me like mute myself, it's because I'm either drinking or I'm coughing up, hacking up a lung. My our cleaning lady was here today at the house, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Like, she used some chemicals that are just like killing my eyes. All right, so let's get into it. You know, especially you guys that are on here all the time, you know, I like how to run it. Let me go through my watch list, and then we'll dive into whatever you guys are looking at. All right. Let's go down the list. Just, you know, an update. I really didn't do much trading last week. I was traveling with my oldest daughter. for some volleyball. So I did take a little profit out of a CAD JPY buy. And I think that was it. CAD JPY and I think GA, but GA ended up hitting my break even. So she has been sent by ICT Guru to stop you. Yeah. No, normally she's in the morning, man. Normally she comes in the morning every week. And today she was just here in the afternoon, and I don't know what she did, bro, but like I was hacking up a lung. All right, so here we go. Chef JPY, listen, this thing just continues to be bullish. I don't know what more to say about it. And you can, I mean, here it is. I mean, it ain't no brainer. I'm still holding, listen, I'm still holding the position from down here. And there's no reason to close this damn thing out. So I'll just keep holding it as long as it wants to let me hold it. From a, I think we'll stick with blue. You know, from this standpoint, what's the R to R? Oh, geez, bro. I don't even know. It was a 214 here. So I don't even know. Hold on. Let's see. Let's go to a 15. What is the R to R? So she's at, well, all right. So where it's at right now, or at the highest point, it was 523 in profit off of a 2-pip stop. So yeah. I mean, it wasn't full risk. Those of you guys that watched like the recap and stuff and how we went at it, but 1 to 261. So it's almost at my highest. My highest is 287, 1 to 287. So yeah, it is what it is. So I'm still happy with the trade. You know, I'm still keeping it up. I've taken the partials. Yeah. My 2 highest trades are off Chef JPY. And I know a lot of people talk bad about Chef JPY. They're like, oh, it moves so slow, or, you know, all right. I mean, yeah, it can move slow, but it gives just really nice entries. So, yeah. Anyhow, let's break it down. You know, I mean, we're obviously from a higher standpoint, right? Higher time frame. We're bullish, right? And nothing's going to change that. We're bullish. We are bullish. And realistically, if you look at it, we are bullish. I mean, this is what's maintaining higher time frame bullishness, because you have your distribution that pulls down. This was a reaccumulation continuation move. So higher time frame, we're bullish forever. From the intraday, right? From the intraday, we are being maintained. Wow. I mean, honestly, from the intraday, we're being maintained from this low right here. So this thing would have to come down significantly to see anything really that would cause me to want to take sells on Chef JPY. Oh, geez, stupid that. And then of course we go lower time frame. And I mean, here's where we're at. I'll just stick on the 1 hour because it's easier to see it on the 1 hour. But from the 1 hour, I mean, this is what's maintaining the low, right? Lower time frame structure. So for bullish higher time frame, bullish intraday, bullish lower time frame, the first area I'm going to be looking for buys is going to be, you know, out of the lower time frame. Where did I take partials on Chef JPY? I mean, you can see right there where those boxes are. Yeah, it was just at the highs. You know, it was the first order flow break, then it was the leg high, and then obviously where my target is. I mean, it's up in the weekly candle. So, yeah, just look at the previous streams, and I think it was like last month or something when we actually covered the breakdown. So, yeah. Anyhow, this is what's maintaining lower time frame leg, right? This is our leg right here to here. So, you know, you guys know how I like to trade. You know, this is what everyone can see, the distro turned what reaccumulation. So this is our slingshot, right? This is our slingshot. So if price comes into, you know, and I would say anywhere between like 121.90 to like 122.100, you know, this 20 pip range, you can see my alert sitting right here. I'll take an accumulation out of this. right? I'll take an accumulation to take this up. And if we don't accumulate in here and we trade lower, right, then all day long is here's where I want us to come into. All right. This is where I want us to come into all day long and take it up from here. So to me, it's pretty simple. It's just a wait and see game. I've been trying to catch some reentries on Chef JPY. You can see my entry here. Nothing, no reentries whatsoever. I even thought about in here in this accumulation. We just never got a pullback. I was looking. So I was looking last week on the 7th, which was like, I think Monday last week. I was looking out of this area here. And she just really didn't give me an entry to take into. You could see like we can go down to 1 minute. And yeah, you could just see there really wasn't anything for me to take. It would have had to have been a limit order. And then from there, this week actually gave an entry, right? So I was looking out of here. This is what I wanted, but she just didn't give me a schematic to play out of. And this came in yesterday, actually. Yesterday, London session is when this came into my slingshot that created the original push. So now it's just a waiting game, right? Now it's just waiting for, I've got my alert set, and I'll wait for her to come down. We'll see how she plays out. All right. So Chef JPY, I'm still looking for buys. Going to look for buys out of my slingshot candle or out of this accumulation right here, right? This is the spring, and I want the spring to get tested. So that's going to be my order. Now I will, me personally, I will set a limit off of this lower time frame schematic just because we are bullish across the board, right? So I honestly haven't looked into where I'm going to set the limit yet because we're about like 70 pips away from it. But just looking at it, let's see if I could find it real quick. And if someone does have this candle, let me know what it is before I waste a ton of time trying to find it. All right, so it's under the 3 hour. Hold on. Let's see. So 125, no, 110. We're getting closer. There she is. That didn't take me too long. All right, so 74 minutes where she's at. Yeah, I like it too, bro. I like Chef JPY too. Yeah. All right. So, all right. And so everybody here, I'm going to hide the drawings for a second, and this is about training your eye, right? Can everyone see the type 1 schematic right here? Here's your trading range, right? And no question, right? That's your spring. So when I say I look for the most voluminous candle, that's what I look for. That's what I look for right there. 74 minute. So let me just see if there's any. Oh, I already put that sucker in. All right. So now let's see if we can find some confluence in this thing. All right. So that's 50%, and we're going to go 80%. All right, so this is 80%. That is the, yeah. For me, I mean, you could call it whatever you want. I mean, I call it the institutional candle, icy candle. There's some that call it I think you guys say like the order block. Some people say it's I don't know. Yeah, it's just the most voluminous candle. It's the down candle, right? It's a candle that swept the lows, took liquidity, initiated the sell before the buy, however you want to call it. Yeah. So for me, it's important. All right. So I do want to screenshot this though, just so I can have it for my journal. 74. how do you decide if you take it at the 50 or the 80? So it all depends. Like, I'm sure you guys have heard me say it, that if we're correct that this is the candle that it's going to play off of, I can guarantee you 100% of the time it will come into 100% of the candle, right? I don't know how often it'll come into the 50, and I don't know how often it'll come into the 80. So we have to make a educated guess on what it's going to do. All right. I could tell you for Chef JPY, there ain't no way in hell I'm going to take a 17.7 pip stop loss. Right. So yeah, Sengo's right. Fine confluence. So that's why I did the 50 and 80. So now we're just going to shoot down and we're going to start looking. All right, well, what gives us reason to come into that area? So it's almost 50. Let's see. Let's just see why would we want to take that? So it's also 50% of the 40. So now we're just building more than one reason why we want to take it off of a certain area. And, if you're acceptable with the risk, so, 50% of that candle goes to 9.5 pips. I don't know about you, but most of my spreads on Chef JPY are about a pip. So you're talking a 10.5 pip stop loss, right? So, I would prefer the 80%, but sometimes you're not going to get it, right? Sometimes you gotta play with what you're dealt. So I do like the fact though that we keep seeing a lot of confluence in this push right here. What was that, 12? Man, it just didn't make it easy, did it? So, all right, let's get down in here. Well, it would be, I'll tell you what, it would be an imbalance fill on that 5 minute. So that 80% would fill this imbalance right here on the 5 minute. All right, what about the 4? Let's see the 4. All right, same imbalances there, still there. 3 is there. 2, 1. Yeah, oh, look at that. All right, and then we got a little schematic down here. Can everyone see this tiny little itty bitty micro schematic right here? Let's see, 15-second. So, right, here's your schematic right here. So here's your trading range, right? Climax, test, spring. And we can say, potentially this is the test of the spring to go higher, and this is a reaccumulation, right? Attempted distro, 3 drives up, there's your creek. So we do have, right? For me, all of this is evenly traded. This mitigates here, and you could see the imbalance. So the question is, do we have imbalance on something that actually matters and not a 15-second? Let's see, is the imbalance there? It is there. It is there. What about the 1 minute? So 1 minute, yeah. So I'd be pretty happy taking it off the 80% just because we have this micro schematic right here. Right. So we have a micro accumulation. All right. And then out of that micro accumulation, we have a micro reaccumulation right here. So you put your stop at the shakeout of the 5-second reaccumulation. So there's two ways to trade this, right? And this is, I'll give you guys this, and I'll kind of decide on what I'm going to do as well. But you have 2 options. All right. Actually, you got more than 2 options, but this is how I would play it. All right. Would you require a lower time frame? to form a schematic as well when the price comes back to mitigate that area. No, I wouldn't. No, not on this. I wouldn't. And the reason I don't, so let's see. Show me the fib setting for an 88.6. Just put 88.6 in the fib, bro. Yeah. Yeah, like if this is, hold on. So if this is your fib with an 88.6, there it's just 0.886. Right, that's all it is. Yeah. It was mitigated on a Wanda? Really? Hold on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. 74 minute. Yeah, you know why? Why it's showing? So this is the 5 p.m. candle. This is the changeover candle right here. That's why it's showing. Yeah, man, that's some hoopla. That is, bro. I'm telling you, yeah, this is the 5 p.m. candle. Oh, wait a minute. That's not even. Wait, whoa. What the heck is it doing here? This is a Wanda. FXCM. Wow, dude, at 5 p.m. they're saying it dropped. All right, hold on. What's forex.com got? Yeah, not even close, bro. Not even close. Yeah, it's the 5 p.m. candle. It's the 5 p.m. candle. So, yeah. 107. I'll look at the 107. Hold on. Yeah. And then, yeah, so I'll go back to like why the 107. Let's see what you got. 107. Yeah, for me, I like the 74. Do you see how it's got more volume? There's more volume in the 74. Yeah. You got it, bro. You got it. Okay, so why would I not require a schematic in this lower level, right? And the answer is this. So we're maintaining structure from here, right? This is what's maintaining structure. So the only time I require a schematic, right? The only time I require a schematic is one, if we're not in a structure point. So my slingshot area, not in a structure point, right? Price can trade below it. So if price can go below and come down into here. If price trades below here, right? What happens? We're going into the intraday, right? We're not going to just stop here. All right. All right. Now, why do I have this box here? Originally, I had the box here just because the stop loss would have been massive. So, but I'm going to see if I can play the stop loss down now. All right. Yeah. So going back to where I'm going to be looking, there's a couple ways you could play this, right? So let's just go back to the 1 minute. This is ideally how you can play it. All right. So we know that we would like, ideally we'd like to play off 50% of the 74, which is also the 40 minute. All right. So if we get an entry there, for me, I would be putting my stop loss just below the reaccumulation that occurred here. So that gives us a 7.5 pip stop loss. My second entry, right? My second entry would then be positioned here off the 80% with the stop loss just below this low. So it's about a 4.5 pip stop loss. All right. That's how I would position it. All right. And the idea behind it is if price comes in and mitigates into the 80%, I'll have both orders filled. If price trades below this reaccumulation, I get stop loss hit here. However, I will still be active on this one here. And then I'll make it up, right? I'll make up that just going back upwards. All right. For me, it's worth playing it off that. Or the other option is you just split it and you run this down to here for a 9.5 pip stop loss. Okay. But for me, I would rather play it off of here, have a tighter entry And then, like I said, I'm okay taking the stop loss hit here because if I'm correct that we're going to mitigate out of here, I'll just take it off the lower entry. All right. Yeah, I'll tell you, like when it comes to like the brokers, Awanda too has been giving some just BS price action, so the one thing I'll tell you is like if you really, really are trying to get a specific entry, just check a couple of the feeds, check a couple of the feeds because I mean, yeah, I can think of a handful of times where Wanda was just giving me some stupid price action on the chart and it just made no sense. And I'll tell you right now, so I use a Wanda as a broker. And there's some times where the chart on TradingView is different than the actual broker chart on a Wanda's feed. So yeah, it is what it is. But Chef JPY, that's what I'm looking at. All right. I personally will be putting a limit in off of this. I'm pretty happy with it. I don't mind it one bit. I like where it's at. We're bullish on all time frames, and if it gives me that entry, great. And if not, whatever. It is what it is. I don't mind it. Targets, like what am I going to be looking to take this up to? Well, just getting back up to the next high is 120 pips, right? So we're realistically talking like a 1 to 27, a 1 to 16 for probably like my second partial out area. My first partial out area is going to be obviously the break of structure out of whatever we get. And then, where's my overall targets? Well, hop up over to the daily and you can kind of see where I want to take this bad boy up to. And it's going to be into this like 135 area, 134, 135 area right in here. So we've already surpassed where I was planning on taking this up to anyway. We had equal highs, we had imbalance in here. We've obviously traded above that, and just look at the weekly chart. I mean, we are creeping up to literally all-time highs. That this is, I mean, we've never tapped into 140. So we'll see how this goes. BTC. Yeah, bro. Yeah, you got the accumulation on it? Let's see. I think it's it hasn't confirmed a type 2 yet for me, but it's there. Oh, no. You're looking on the 1 hour, bro. Yeah, I'm playing off the 4 hour, man. I'm playing it off the 4 hour. It doesn't it hasn't confirmed yet for me. We'll get to crypto at the end, but for me, play it off the 4 hour. You're in a 4 hour schematic. Let the 4 hour schematic fulfill itself before looking for buys. I mean, that's my opinion. Yeah. So on Chef JPY, yeah, I'm looking for, listen, if I can hold this sucker, and I'll tell you right now, on two of the brokers, I'm getting paid positive swap on Chef JPY. So I'm making money just holding the buy. Yeah, absolutely, man. We'll get to BTC. We'll get to BTC. All right, cool. I'm all caught up. So yeah, Chef JPY is pretty easy. I'm gonna play it out of that 74 minute. I really like that 74 minute. That's I think that's where I'm gonna sit it at. All right. And actually, let me just move this. Hold on. Yeah. So I'm just gonna do this real quick. All right, just so I have it, I'm going to screenshot this so I can put it in my journal. And if we don't come down there, right? Obviously, this isn't my final take profit. I just want to get it so that I can have at least the reason to take the trade. If we get a schematic, right? If we get a schematic in here, I'll take the schematic as well from there. So yeah. Did you TP on gold? What do you mean, on the sell or on the buy? Because I never got back in on the buy, but on the sell, yeah. I closed out of the sell a while ago, man. Yeah. All right. So Chef JPY is there. Yeah, EJ. So let's talk about EJ, right? Let's go to a 1 hour. All right. So I was looking for a couple of things, right? I was looking last week. I was looking for an accumulation out of here, and damn, we got an accumulation out of there. It just didn't give me an entry. The entry came yesterday. I just wasn't on the charts. So out of this accumulation here, what I really want to see happen before I take any real limit orders, I need a break of order flow, right? So this right here is what's maintaining bearish order flow right now. Hold on. Boof. So this is what's maintaining bearish order flow. And until we can break that order flow, it's not something I really want to set a limit order on yet. That's why I have this accumulation down here. I'm going to require an accumulation. But you can kind of see what it's already doing. It looks like it's just, it looks to me like this is going to be a reaccumulation that pops up. And if that happens, then great. I'll play it down here once we come back. All right. But for me, nothing's changed on EJ. We're still massively bullish, right? There is no change, from the intraday perspective. From the intraday perspective, this is still what is maintaining my structure point, right? This down here is our intraday leg. This right here, for me, is what was maintaining our lower time frame, and we're still there. We had this distribution that I had no desire whatsoever to try to sell, and we got that accumulation in here. So I didn't actually look to see. It doesn't even look like it would have given me anything. Let me just see on the 5-minute. Yeah, no, nothing. When was this? This was 13, 14. Okay, so this was Sunday into Monday. Yeah, it didn't, honestly, I don't even look at the charts on Sunday anymore, but yeah, it didn't look like much. If we do get a new high, though, I've already kind of marked out some areas in this candle right here that I want to play out of. So, but EJ is just a matter of just waiting. I have my alert set right here around like 132,900. Wait for the schematic. If we do trade down in here, now this would require a schematic, right? Why? Because we haven't broken any structure. Oh, son of a gun, man! I had that on there already. Why did I? Oh, okay. I guess I forgot to put the visibility on. If we get a new high, would your entry become the extreme? So because EJ is higher time frame intraday and lower time frame bullish, yeah, I would be able to set a limit out of that candle. These two price points that I'm looking at. But until we break this high up here, there's no limit here. It requires a schematic for me. So I'd play the schematic if we come in here. All right, which I'm perfectly fine in doing. EJ, everyone who has tried to sell EJ this year, I think, has been met with very small success and a lot of heartache. And those of us that have been, everyone but Sango, that have been trying to buy EJ have been very, very happy with it. So what's the difference between intraday and lower time frame? So one's on the intraday time frame and the other's on the lower time frame. So yeah, that's what it is. About getting an entry with a sub 10 pip stop loss. What do you mean though? Like how do you get a sub 10 pip stop loss entry? Yeah, I mean, to get a tight entry, you just got to find you got to find confluence in getting the right right schematic, the right point of entry. Yeah, if you can expect, well, I'll tell you right now, the only way that I can do it is actively in a schematic. If I can, valid break of structure is your wick. So yes. For me, a wick does break structure. So yeah, because it's a price point, right? It's still an order. in order still, if you have, the way I look at it is this, all right. And I know, I mean, there's probably 50,000 views on it, but if you have a distribution, right? If you have a distribution and we're bearish and price comes up and there's a wick that trades above this, what does it do to supply, right? The wick is here, but the body closes down here. We still invalidated supply, right? That order that traded above here took out sellers. So for me, it's still a break, right? So this in essence turns into what? A reaccumulation. So I wouldn't be continuing to look for sells. I'd be looking for buys. All right. You have the same idea on EJ. Good, bro. Good. Yeah, man. Good job. Good job. Yeah. Like, if there's any advice I could tell you, man, is before, and I know there's a lot of pressure from people, to get newer traders immediately starting to trade and stuff like that. Listen, take your time, be a good market analyst, understand what the market is showing you and telling you to do before you try throwing money at it. Right. So can you show the difference on EJ? Difference on EJ for what, bro? Yeah, there you go. Cole's got it. Yeah. So your legs are dependent upon, where in the cycle or where in the movements, you have your pullbacks. Just remember a market cycle, right? You have an accumulation or a reaccumulation to a distro to a redistro to an accumulation back up, right? So if you don't have price distributing, you don't have a pullback, right? You just have continuations. So if you have like EJ, let's look at what EJ's been doing on like a intraday time frame, right? Come on, here we go. So well, here we even go like 1 hour. Hold on. So have we had an intraday pullback, right? Realistically, have we had an intraday pullback? Yeah, I mean, we've had a couple, right? We've had this one here. This was a valid distribution. We had this one here. This was a valid distribution out of here. This was not a distribution. It was a reaccumulation, right? And then we had this one here, right? This was that last distribution that pushed down. So, this is what's maintaining our intraday. All right. That's what's maintaining our intraday. And then we go from there. Everything else is what? Reaccumulations. So when you see a distribution fail without getting down and validating itself, yeah, those are just continuation moves. Continuation moves are not pullbacks. All right. At least in my eyes, they're not pullbacks. Yeah, there you go. Just watch. Yeah, just dive into some of the videos, man. Yeah, awesome, dude. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, I had some success. I had really good success just trading smart money. But it wasn't until I really dove into Wyckoff, and then I really started. I put this up here recently. I've been putting it up a lot, but hold on. Right when I started developing my 3 keys, where the hell are they? The 3 keys, right? When I started developing my 3 keys, it kind of all made sense, right? Like if you start, number 1 is structure, man. If you understand structure, great. You're already on the right path to understanding everything. Incorporate supply and demand. Understand where sellers and buyers are getting in the market. Understand where they're sitting. And then, like I always say, like, what did that do? Yeah, you've got a 1-minute schematic. What did it do? You've got a 15-minute schematic. You have a distribution there, but the distribution didn't do anything. So do you look for distribution off previous structure? So what do you mean, for like to validate the pullback? Yes. Yeah. You want to see a distribution, in some form or another. You want to see a distribution. That's what validates the pullback. Otherwise, if you don't have a distribution, what do you have? Right? You just, if you don't have distribution, what do you have? You just have bullish structure, right? These aren't pullbacks. What they are just reaccumulations. Reaccumulations are continuations, right? So that's what, at least for me, that's what I want to see. Exactly. Well, there you go, bro. Order flow. Yep. Order flow. For me, it's order flow is only important if you're bullish intraday, higher time frame, lower time frame, order flow is bullish and you're playing the order flow moves, yes. All right, then that's important. Just keep in mind though, order flow changes as quick as, as quick as the wind changes, order flow can change, and it won't mean anything. So, for those that like to trade order flow, good, congrats. Like I'm not in it there. I'm not in the trenches trying to duke it out with order flow. I'll just sit back and let order flow take care of itself, and I'll just rely on structure. All right. So yeah. All right. Let me see. Supply and demand is the one you're struggling with. All right. So here's the key to supply and demand, right? If you understand, look at supply and demand like this, right? A lot of people will talk and say that supply and demand is simply just look for support and resistance. No, wrong. Don't even listen to that crap. Supply and demand is what supply and what demand are the only entities that I care about. Institutions, right? Market movers. That's the only people. That's the only supply and demand I care about, right? How do institutions create their buy or sell orders? They do it via schematics. Find the schematic, you find supply and demand, right? And then the most important thing is when you find that supply and demand, when you find that distribution, when you find that accumulation, what did it do? Did it accomplish anything, right? If that distribution didn't create a break of structure, didn't push in a new low, then what did it do? Nothing, right? So sellers were weak. Sellers attempted, right? The sellers attempted to short the market, ultimately failed, and that's why you get a reaccumulation. All right. So yeah. In supply and demand confirmed distribution. Wait, is supply and demand confirmed distribution? Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it is. Confirmed. When did you say you always find the supply and demand through cause and effect? Yes. Yeah. There you go, bro. That's why, listen, that's why it's my 3 keys, right? In that order. Find your structure, find supply and demand, and then cause and effect. Did that distro or accumulation actually do anything worthy of what it, or did it do what it was intended to do? If they're distributing, you're expecting it to break a low. Did it break a low? No. All right, then it didn't do diddly squat. So move on. Yeah. All right, cool. Can you show how to validate each point within a schematic correctly? Yeah, no, bro. That's like what was that video I did? That was like a 5-hour video, man. Yeah, no. My wife will not approve that tonight. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah. Yeah, no, that ain't, yeah, sorry, man. Just the one thing I'll tell you is this, like, read what each point is, right? Understand what a climax is, understand what a secondary test is, understand what a secondary test in phase B is, understand what a spring is and what they're intended to do. And then ask yourself at each point, when you're marking up your chart, ask yourself at each point, did it do what it's intended to do? So cause and effect would just be a break of structure, a new high, new low from the schematic. Yeah, I mean, it could be from the schematic. It could be from actual structure, right? It could be, and just remember, it doesn't necessarily need to be a new high or new low, right? So if you have a distribution, a great example was, and I know I'm going to go off tangent here, man, but a great example was what is it, EN, I think, right? Hold on, let's look at EN real quick. So bro, EN cracks me up. I know you guys I had failed distribution with a bunch of question marks here. I'm like, I don't know, I'm pretty confident that this is going to break distribution. Sure enough, we invalidated distro, right? So cause and effect, like what did it do, right? So this distribution here, did it do anything? No, it didn't do anything, right? We have another distribution here. This distribution trades above this distribution, and had it pushed in a new low here, then I would have been like, okay, maybe we're going to get something. Maybe we'll have the potential to do something. But no, we couldn't even do that. Instead, what do? We go right into an accumulation. All right. So what does this accumulation do? If this accumulation, right, let's just say that this distro was up here, right? If this accumulation invalidates this distribution here, all right, then we didn't break a new high or new low, but the schematic invalidated supply, right? So does it mean, that I'm going to be putting sell limits or buy limits into it? No, it doesn't. But the first thing I always want to do is I always want to see, okay, who's in control and how do we get, or how does price invalidate or, fend off the people that are trying to reverse the market. So in this case, you have an attempted distribution, an attempted distribution, an attempted distribution. So like when you're looking at EN, you got to ask yourself, when you're seeing this price action in here, who's in control, right? If you're saying anything other than buyers, I would definitely go out and ask yourself why, right? You might say, oh, look, I have a distro, I have a distro, I have a distro, right? But these distros are just not doing anything, and everything you're seeing is an accumulation, a reaccumulation. You're right. Technically a reaccumulation within accumulation, right? Another reaccumulation, another reaccumulation. We're just seeing massive buying pressure. Buyers are in control, so, for those that want to attempt a sell on EN, let me know how it goes. That's all I'll say. Yeah, there you go. Check my Wyckoff intro. I honestly, I did that video a while ago, so I don't remember what's even in it, but yeah, it's a good start. And yeah, Ruben's book, actually both of his books, right? Wyckoff Methodology and Wyckoff 2.0, really good books. Yeah, the video's on YouTube. That intro video, yeah, just go onto my YouTube page, and just go under like the Wyckoff playlist, and it's like the first one there. So if you would start again, where would you focus on? I would, first and foremost, structure, understanding the leg structure, because I think that's where I spent most of my troubles understanding with structure, because I was taught it wrong. And then everything lives and dies by structure. So if you get structure wrong, everything else, no matter if you understand supply and demand, no matter if you understand schematics, if you get structure wrong, you may get lucky and win a couple, but you're ultimately going to fail, right? Because structure is everything. Yeah. Yeah, put a limit on the extreme. Yeah, dude, put your limits on the extremes, man. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, smart money. Okay, this is why smart money is important, right? Because you need to understand the why, right? Why are, and it depends on where you're learning smart money, because, I can tell you, I've heard some, like, I've heard some stuff that, like, I kind of turn my head sideways and I'm like, all right, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but okay. Why does price, why do we get a spring, right? Why does price create this massive spring right here? And if you're thinking that it's because it wants to take all these, it's gunning for stop losses, you're only half right, right? It's not coming for stop losses. What it's coming for, it's coming to fill their orders. They don't care, Morgan Stanley doesn't care about my measly 12 lots that I'm trading down here, right? All they care about is filling their orders. So understanding smart money, understanding why the market moves in certain ways, and understanding imbalances and all that, that's important. Absolutely. It's why, it's part of my confirmation, right? Like where's my confirmations? It's part of my confirmations. The reason I look to get into trades is honestly, mostly it's all smart money concepts. It's just incorporating that into, the schematic itself within structure, understanding supply and demand, and then incorporating cause and effect into it. So, all right, let me see if I could catch up structure then. Yeah. What book do you recommend on structure? Book on structure, man. Dude, I don't know. To be honest, I really, dude, I don't know. I have yet to read a book that really speaks to the validity of true structure, because a lot of the people, everybody I've learned structure minus two people have always told me that it's just highs and lows, and that's no, it's not highs and lows. So yeah, it's the leg structures. So I can't tell you that. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, your if you traded retail, your structure worked because at some point we're incorporating Wyckoff and you just didn't know it, right? Yeah, 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 yeah. It wasn't because you put the box on candles. No, yeah, I love it, bro. I love it. Uh, So okay, Elliott wave is the closest thing to structure that I will say is valid. Do I believe in the number of waves? I mean, not necessarily, but it's all based on leg structure. So the harmonic scanner. Yeah. Hold on, let me catch up. Yeah, you've been playing buys on EN for a while. Good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So have I. I mean, in theory, I've been, but the spread on EN on my broker is ridiculous. So, I've been in spirit buying EN, just not in real life. Um, what is considered intraday and lower time frame to me? So lower time frame is, I would say the legs below a 15-minute. I mean, you can see I can be on a 1 hour and see the lower time frame leg, but realistically everything below the 15-minute, and then the intraday is like the 30-minute up to like the 4 hour. It's time for me to write a book. We'll see, man. I saw, what's him called? I saw John Phibbs wrote a book. Maybe one day when I have time and I'm not shuttling myself around, city to city with my girls for volleyball. What opened your eyes to what you were doing wrong with structure? My journal. My journal opened my eyes because, I was having some pretty decent success, but I was having, like I'm the way I operate. When even if I took one loss, I would still want to know why I took the loss. And I kept going back to the same point that, man, I'm missing something. I'm missing a piece of the puzzle. There's something that's not happening correctly. And ultimately, what it was, it was structure. When you created your nickname, so no, I mean, I use fibs on every trade I take pretty much. Smart. No, it wouldn't be smart money and profits. No. No, I use fibs on everything. My 50 and 80. Listen, my 50 and 80 is my claim to fame. So it's no joke. Let's see. Just use harmonics as an additional confirmation. You did? You use harmonics as an additional? Okay. Yeah, that's good. Pitchforks, man. I used to use pitchforks. I used to do the pitchfork stuff. Yeah. Yeah, pitchforks. Yep. I used to use the pitchforks. Makes money for gold. Oh, geez. Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on. All right. So, went through EJ. EJ is just a wait and see. We'll see if we get that. We'll see if we get an accumulation. Now, EU, we are in distribution, right? And, again, what do we have? Well, we have a valid distro, right? But this is still what's maintaining structure, right? We still, this distribution into this accumulation, which happened into our slingshot, is still what's maintaining structure. Okay. So until we break this right here, I'm still bullish on EU. All right. And you can kind of see what we have going on, right? I mean, it's just walking itself down. Well, let this bad boy walk right into here. I mean, I've been waiting on this thing since May 13th, right? So my alert hasn't moved. It's just sitting here. I want to see an accumulation right here. And it kind of lines up conversely with DXY, right? If you look over at DXY, so I get a kick. So here's my DXY. Like what do we do, right? We have a distribution here. Okay, we have a distribution here. We have this accumulation that I'm waiting on. You can see I've got my alert on the ice. I'm pretty convinced that we are going to get this push. I just don't know when. I don't know how high we're going to go. But just follow what's been happening on DXY. I mean, it's just, I know these are all redistros, but it sounds better when you put failed accumulation, failed accumulation, failed accumulation, failed accumulation. And now we're just waiting on this shenanigans here. So, I mean, when you line this up with what EU's been doing, it just makes sense, right? It makes sense that I want to see. Now I'm not putting a limit order on it. I want to wait I want to wait for a smaller time frame accumulation to take this higher. When you have a daily leg, you obviously got lower time frame highs and lows. Do you look at the lower time frame as structure or order flow? So if you are on a higher time frame leg, right, you most likely will have intraday order flow, right? So like your intraday leg, right? Your intraday legs typically have your lower time frame order flow inside of it. So the key is understanding what's order flow and what's structure, right? That's going to be the key. Yeah, there you go. There you go. DXY looks like a head and shoulders. Let's see, bro. Let's see. You're talking about, what are you talking about? Where's the head and shoulders? You talking about in here? Hold on, hold on. Where is, there we go. If I squeeze the chart. So what, like on a daily? Yeah, I don't know. I tell you what I do see, right? I mean, I talked about it last time. I do see a massive weekly distribution where another distribution here, right? 1, 2, 3 drives, UTAD mitigates here. And now I'm just waiting for us to invalidate this accumulation. So, and then coming out of what we had here, right? Here's your accumulation that failed into your redistribution. And I'm seeing this stuff right in here. So yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's just a waiting game. Yeah. It's just a waiting. Well, you could see my alert. What's my alert say? Bye bye DXY. So when we break that low, it's see you later. So yeah. Anyway, so going back, EU, that's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting for the accumulation on it. I'm curious to see if we're going to get it. But I'm not going to set a limit order on this. The reason I'm not setting a limit order on this is, one, I don't know if we're going to come into the lower end because it looks like it's been mitigated. So we may come up higher. So that's what I'm waiting on. All right, so let's go down. All right, so pending limits. I did have this as a pending. I probably will throw this back in as a pending. Just because of the structure break that we have, right? But GJ is one of those that has been eluding me all year. Dude, honestly, the last buy I caught on GJ was down here back in December, right? Was this buy that I caught, and shame on me for not holding the stupid thing like I wanted to, right? I mean, this thing would have been from my buy, shoot, this thing went up 1,800 pips. 1,800 pips in the span of 6 months. But you can see, okay, so like what's maintaining intraday structure, right? Well, intraday structure to me is being maintained right here. This is what's maintaining intraday structure. Well, why? Because we haven't had a pullback since, right? You could see we had our pullback, right? The distro, you can see a distro here that pushes down. We have an accumulation. And then from there, we just haven't had a distro, right? This isn't a distro. This is a reaccumulation. So this is the continuation move. So until we get down to like 149 area, this is, it's still buys for me. And realistically, even if we came in, look, I mean, I'm looking for a buy out of there. I'll be looking for a buy out of there. I've been waiting on this stupid thing since April. But we're bullish higher time frame, we're bullish intraday, so I got to go lower time frame to find the entry. And from a lower time frame point of view, what do we have, right? Well, we had price, lower time frame structure was here, right? Why? Because this was our low, and what do? We made a new high. So out of this reaccumulation, this is my demand zone, and we tapped into it. Well, how do we tap into it? I mean, here's your accumulation, right? Here's your climax. Well, shoot, I got it on the 1 hour. Why? There we go. There we go. Here's your accumulation, right? So we got our 3 drives, right? We got our 3 drives. We got our spring. What did the spring do? Spring broke structure, came back. And yesterday I was looking, what was it, like the 200? I was looking at the 234, and yeah, I mean, there's our 234-minute candle, and sure enough, we came right into 50% of it today. Just this wasn't something I was going to take off of that, because that would have meant like a 30 pip stop loss, and yeah, that's just something I'm not going to do. So, but we had a really nice schematic. We have a really nice schematic, and you can see what's price doing, cause and effect, right? We had a spring break structure. After the break of structure, we have a test. What's the test do? Test makes a new high, right? So for me, we broke structure in regards to the schematic, right? But realistically, what is this high? This high represents order flow. So we've broken order flow at this point, right? Because this is that order flow push. So the next thing I want to see is, I either want to see us push up, make a new high. If we make a new high, then I got a limit order for this right here. Okay. And if we don't make a new high, because what's this look like right here? It looks like it's going to reaccumulate, right? Without even getting on lower time frame, it looks like it's going to reaccumulate. So we go down to the 15-minute, and let's go 5-minute, right? So on the 5-minute, here's your distro, right? Here's your distro, and here's your creek, right? Something like that, so let this confirm as a reaccumulation. If this confirms at a reaccumulation, for me, the entry will be out of here, right? I don't want to see price doing this and then come back down. I don't. What I want to see is, I want to see price reaccumulate, break this high over here, and then come down where I can set a limit order to go higher, right? Because at that point, then this is what's maintaining lower time frame structure. All right. You took it off the spring in the test. Did you take it off? Was there a schematic? I didn't even look in there. I wasn't on the chart. So you took it. So yeah, where'd you take it? You took it out of here, or you took it out of the spring? Because yeah, for me, there was no entry. I didn't have an entry that I was going to take. Yeah. Would you be waiting for a buy off the reaccumulation? Both. My first, like right now, if it was an Asian session, right? If we were like in the middle of New York, I'd have an alert right here. When we break that high, I'd be looking for a reason to buy out of this area here. That's my first area, because I want this to maintain. Like, I don't want this to trade lower here now, because then what happens? We've broken order flow. We've got in a booth, right? The only time I want us to come back down here now is break this high. Okay. And then from this morning's price action, it gave a really nice type 1, right? If you go down to the 1 minute, here's your type 1. All right, here's your type 1. So you got your climax, you got your test, and then a spring. So, and what we were looking at this morning was a 7-minute. So 7-minute. And if you don't have the seconds time frame, I mean, that's what it looked like on the seconds. We clearly had our change of character. Had another secondary test that pushed up to at least 50% of the trading range. Another secondary test pushed up 50%. We get the spring. This was the break of structure I needed. We got it pretty much right there. And at this point here, I was willing to take the entry, 50% of the 7-minute with the stop loss just below, and then 80% of the 7-minute with a stop loss right here. And actually this stop loss off the 50-minute was right here. That's where I had the stop loss. So it was like a 3.5 pip stop is what I was looking at taking. But this is where I'm looking, to take it. Why the 7, not the 5, 4, or 3? So just because for me, the 7-minute is where it's at. The 5-minute, look at the wickage you got here. So, there's a lot of speculation as to what happened in there. If you go to the 4-minute, what's the 4-minute look like? Yeah, same thing. The 4-minute is nothing for me. The 3-minute, same thing, nothing. But if you go to the 7-minute, 7-minute was the closest that I can say that this is the closest that I can see where they sold down, right? They started their sell, market price closes here, opens here, they trade up for a second, come down. This is where the bulk of the volume comes in. And this is where the bulk of the buys come in. So there was a little bit of trade, a little bit of orders that came down into the bottom to create that wick. But this was the candle that had the least amount of wick to the downside. So for me, the bulk of our orders are resting right here. So I would rather be on this side of the 50 and the 80 than on the opposite side, right? Because this is going to give me the tighter entry. So yeah, that's ultimately why I chose the 7 minute. I liked it better. It looked like a cleaner candle for me. But yeah, so I mean, going into it tonight, I'm still looking for GJ buys. It's just a waiting game now. I would, just because we're creeping into the Asian session now, I would expect that we're probably potentially maybe going to get something like that during London, get that break, and then London's going to sweep the Asian low, come right into my buy limit, and then New York can hopefully do this. That's in a perfect world. If Santa Claus wanted to give me a present, that's what I would ask for right there. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right. So that's, yeah, like right now it's not a pending order anymore. I've taken it off and I'm just going to wait. If we get that break, I'll put the limit back in. And if not, I'll look to play off of this reaccumulation if I'm up for it. All right. Odd CAD, nothing has changed on odd CAD for me. Nothing's changed. It's either, we have a distribution, confirm a reaccumulation, play out of the reaccumulation to go higher, or play it down and get an accumulation out of my slingshot or out of the extreme down here. The only reason I want an accumulation down here is because the stop loss would be massive, right? My stop loss would be pretty large. ACAD did give an entry. I don't know how many of you actually caught it, but ACAD did give an entry down here. What was it? 50% of the 1 minute candle. Yeah, here she is right here. It did give a really nice entry. So this was a half of a pip stop loss. So whoever asked me about how do you get a sub 10 pip stop loss, here it is right here. This was it. It came really nicely into 80% of the 5 minute, right? Which had confluence with the 50% of the 1 minute. And, looking at this schematic in here, right? Go to the 5 minute, there's your 5 minute candle right here. I can say with absolute certainty that this area right here is where they sold down and immediately bought up. So this is the bottom end of where their orders are sitting. And that's where it came 80% of that 5 minute, which again lined up with that 1 minute. So the only thing that sucked about this is this came in on a Friday, right? This came in the previous Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So I could tell you I wasn't even looking at the charts, but when we went through a back test on it, it was a pretty clean setup. But yeah, so for odd CAD for now, it's just let this thing come down to us. It's either there's gonna be two plays. I'm either gonna play it out of an accumulation off the slingshot area, which is this reaccumulation right here. Or I'm just gonna play it off of the lower area that I'm gonna look for an accumulation. And for me, the 4 hour, right? You could see this 4 hour candle right here. This 4 hour candle, which is also the 410 minute candle, right? Nice voluminous candle right here, little wick on the bottom end. That's what I want to see us mitigate. So, and then, we also have the daily, right? We also have the daily, right? Daily candle right sitting in here. So yeah, ACAD, I'm still looking for buys. It's just a matter of what we're going to do, and we've been sideways for over a week. This thing has been in 8 days, we've been on a 41 pip range. So I would rather save my margin for trades that are actually going to be fruitful for me. Yeah. So, all right. So let's walk it down. CAD-J. So CAD-J finally, there was a nice buy from the ACAD 4 hour low, came into 80% of the previous daily candle. There was a nice buy from ACAD 4 hour low. came into a previous date. Oh, you're talking about down here. Yeah, I had it. Yep. Yeah, it was actually, what did I have it off of? I had it off of, was it the daily? I think it was the daily. Oh yeah, I did have it off the daily. Yep, I had it off the daily, 80% of it. That's where my I had an extreme set on it. But it was, yeah, it was a 20.5 pip stop loss. And yeah, that just that'll eat up my margin. So I would rather not be in it. Your limit expired? Yeah. I'll tell you what, if you have the, so I honestly haven't used MT5 on my well, I know exactly the date I took MT5 and MT4 off my phone. But I haven't used it in a long time. And on the desktop version, I just have it defaulted as non-expiring. Because there's some times where, like right now, I have I have a gold buy limit that I set back in February that's still pending. So yeah, on the desktop version, I know you can make them non-expiring. So that's a suggestion. But yeah, it did come into the extreme. It came into the extreme in the leg, right? I mean, you could see this was the pullback, right? Here's our distro. This was the pullback that ultimately made the new high. So it was a clean entry off the extreme, but just yeah. Would you say that was a big game changer? Wait, let's see. Yeah. It forced me to not make dumb decisions that influenced my equity. And yeah, it's so much easier to manage trades from a desktop. It's so much easier to have a clearer picture, and you're not getting tunnel vision from your phone. So but then again, there are those guys that I see on Instagram at the club making millions of dollars from their phones. So I mean, it works for somebody, right? um uh yeah. How have you been finding the EA for taking? So yeah, we use that position size calculator. That's how we take partials. We use this one right here. So what it does is, no, I mean like the bot on PC. No, I didn't use it. I just use this, man. I have my take profits set. I have, so I use 4 take profits, right? I use 4, so it'll close out like 33%, or in my case, 25%, 25%, 25%, and then the remaining 25% based off the partials. So yeah, I don't use the bot. Yeah. Yeah, there you go, bro. You got it, man. Yeah, when Patrick found this thing, I don't know what, like 9-10 months ago. It was awesome, man. It was a great thing. So I use the crap out of it. Yep. All right. So that's ACAD, right? CADJ, listen, I'm sure there's still somebody out there that is trying to sell CADJ. So good for them. good for them. In my case, right, this is what's maintaining intraday down here, right? Why is it maintaining intraday? Well, here was our high. We pushed in a low, and then we made a new high. This is just the reaccumulation. So it's a continuation move. And then out of this distribution, what do we get? We got a really just massive accumulation, right? We got a massive accumulation. The only problem with the accumulation is we didn't break structure, right? Because if this is our spring, this is the previous low, this is what I needed to break, and we didn't get that. So today, like this morning, I was looking for an accumulation out of here, and I mean, we really didn't get anything, nothing that I want to play out of. So, for me, CADJ is just a waiting game. I mean, we have the schematic here. If we trade lower into this price action, I want to see just a clean type 1. If I don't get a type 1, then I'll just pass. I'll let CADJ just do his thing until it makes a new high for me. Awesome, man. Have a good one. Enjoy. Yeah, but we haven't, again, cause and effect, right? What did the spring do? Spring hasn't broken any structure, and for me, this is what's maintaining structure right now, right here. So, I'm not too worried, and this distribution here, until it invalidates the spring, I'm sure somebody's going to try to take a sell out of there, but I'm not gonna fight CAD either. There's no reason for me to try to take the sell on it. I'll just be eagerly waiting. And like I said, if we do come into this area here and we get a type 1, yeah, I'll pull the trigger on it. And if not, right, if we don't, then I'm going to wait for that break. And when we get that break, wherever the slingshot is, the reaccumulation that causes the break, that's my first point of interest. And then my second point of interest at this point is what? This is what's maintaining structure. So if we go from here straight up and break that high, this is what will be maintaining structure, right? So I'll deal with it accordingly, and I'll just wait for price to come into my area that I want to buy from. EA, we'll talk about EA. So EA, listen, EA is one of those where like I don't know yet what I want to do with it. We are in a valid area to see a distribution. We did get a distribution, right? The only issue I'm having with EA is just how massively bullish. And when I look at the chart, right? When I look at the chart from this point of view right now, ultimately I'm seeing a changing of hands. I'm seeing that buyers are slowly gaining ground. I'm seeing a continuation move. And ideally, I could potentially see this as a reaccumulation eventually. So, I have an alert down here that I would look for an accumulation to take this higher. And I also have these areas up here that if we get lower time frame distribution, I would take a distribution out of. But I don't have a complete bias in mind. Higher time frame we're bearish, intraday we're bearish, but just the price action itself is showing me that, man, we potentially will get a reaccumulation. So I'm not going to make like a predetermined bias on what I want to see. If I get an accumulation here, I'm gonna get into the position. I'll go to break even, and I'll let it do its thing. If I wake up the next morning, I'm 5,000 pips in profit. I'll be happy. Or I'll wait for a distribution in here. If I catch the distribution, I'm just going to go to break even as quick as I can, or at least a reduced risk. And if I wake up and EA just fell out of the sky, then I'll be happy. If not, it is what it is. And the reason, again, one of the main reasons why I'm bullish on EA is because the divergence between EA and EN, right? Like when we come over and you just do a comparative strength analysis with EN, right? Hold on. If you come over here and look at EN on the 1 hour, right? I mean, what do we have, right? Well, we have price, right? We have price that has done what? That has broken the high over here, right? Has broken this high on EN, but on EA we're much lower. So we ultimately have this going. We ultimately have this going on. We have this divergence right here, and then we have this right here. So, the fact that EN is appearing so bullish and EA is showing me bullishness, but hasn't matched it in structure is showing me that divergence and potentially, I could see EA going higher. All right. So EA, it is what it is. Like, I'm just going to keep my eye on it. I got my alerts on both ends and we'll just see what happens. We talked about EN earlier. I'm looking for buys. I was looking for a buy out of here earlier. This stupid thing, at this point, I want EA to catch up. If we do get price coming back down into this area here, I would really be happy with taking a buy out of this accumulation, right? We have a really nice accumulation that occurred in here. And that's kind of why I've got, look for buys. Yeah, I definitely will be looking for buys on EN, and it's just a matter of waiting on EA to do its thing. If we, potentially, I don't want to buy from up here, but if we do get something in this area here, because this is the slingshot that gave us that push up, this is something where I'd be looking for the buy out of there. But EA and EN, it's kind of one of those where I'm just going to wait and see. We did get the failed distro, so we get a really nice confirmation. I'm still a little pissed off with EN. Where was that buy? Hold on. I had a buy that I was looking. I think it was out of here. Hold on. Was it down here? Yeah, it was right here, man. So one morning I was trading New York session with some of the guys I trade with, and I took a reduced risk. Like we attempted like 3 entries in this thing, took a break even. I think it was like a small stop loss. And then we got this really nice spring, and for me, it was this 13-minute candle. Yeah, it was this 13-minute candle right here. That's what I wanted to play out of. And this stupid thing, what it did was instead of coming into the 13-minute, it came into 50% of the entire spring. And there's just no way that I was going to put in what was this? There was no way I was going to take a 21 pip stop, So I wanted this to come in. I was ready to take entries out of here. We just never got it. So could we come lower into this? I hope so. I hope we can get something into that. That's kind of what I'm going to be sitting on and waiting. All right, so that's EN. GA, same thing, right? GA, I don't know if I have it marked up on this. Wait, let's see. Where do I have it? Yeah, I got it right here. So GA, what do we got? We got a schematic, right? We got a schematic. We got a really nice schematic. All right. So at this point, when we're looking at what happened in the market, all right, this is what's maintaining structure, right? We get this push up. All right. We get that push up. We coming down. We have an accumulation. Accumulation does what? Break structure. This is what's maintaining lower time frame, right? Do we get a break of lower time frame structure? Yes, we do, right? Yes, we do. All right. Does that mean all right. All right, sorry, I was coughing. But what do we have, right? We have a distribution. How many people are looking to sell out of this distribution because we broke lower time frame structure right here? You got to ask yourself, why am I going to sell out of there, right? What did price really do? Price came into what? Price came into the accumulation that caused the true break of structure, right? And then what did it do? It built a enormous intraday schematic. So when you're looking, ask yourself, supply is here, demand is here, right? Demand, supply. Who holds more orders, supply or demand? Because for me, whoever filled orders in here, I'm almost positive isn't going to come up 100 pips and then have a massive sell-off. I don't think that's going to be possible. I think if anything, we're going to take out this high. So that's what I'm going to continue to look for. So understanding what I'm seeing here, yeah, we're in buys. I'm looking for buys all day long. I'm not interested in trying to, yeah, bro, they're gonna get smoked. There is no doubt about it. I mean, and just look at it, right? I mean, look at the agenda, right? And most of you guys that have been watching, since like early January, I mean, I've been so damn bullish on GA. Even my trading partner was giving me grief when I started buying GA because I was like, no, I mean, I see what's going on. This is, by the way, this is what's maintaining intraday, right down here. When we look at it, you can see have we had a pullback since? No, this is the new high. We haven't had, this isn't a pullback on the intraday. No, we haven't had an intraday pullback. So could we come lower? Sure we can, but I mean, what we're seeing here, yeah, we're getting ready to really get some movement. And, I've said it every week, right? I'm looking to target 185. 185 is where I want to come up to. So we have a really nice type 1 schematic, right? We have a really nice type 1 schematic. There was a really nice entry. I did take an entry, I think Thursday night or Friday. I know it was when I was traveling. So it was either Thursday night or Friday morning. I took a decent entry on GA. It was a reaccumulation. And now what do we see, right? There's a couple options that I'm waiting for on GA. Smart money, right? I know everybody is probably saying, oh, well, look, we got equal lows and we got equal highs, right? Yeah. So this is what I'm waiting for. It's one of two things. If we don't make a new high, I'm expecting this to get run, and I want us to come down into here, or I want us to come down into here. right? These are the two areas I want us to come down into, build a schematic to go higher. If we don't do that and we go higher first, right? If we go higher first, then this is what's maintaining that lower time frame structure, and I'll take something out of here, right? So it's a matter of waiting to see what happens. Do we go after the highs first? Do we come after the lows first? All right. My entry on Friday was, where's the reaccumulation right here? So this was my entry on Friday. And again, why did I take this entry? Well, um, it was in an area that I wanted to see price come back into, right? So we had an accumulation down here. There was, for me, there was no entry. I didn't take anything out of here. All right. We had an entry in here. I was looking for a re-entry out of this. Ultimately, price comes in, right? Price comes into the reaccumulation demand zone. Doesn't give me an entry out of that. What I took an entry out of, was, so, you have this price action in here, and then what do you have? You have a distribution, right? You have your distribution that ultimately turns into a reaccumulation. What was it? I think the 4-minute. Yeah. So my entry came in at like around 6 o'clock in the morning. It came around 6 o'clock in the morning. I took an entry, and this was just the luck of the draw. So I had an entry at about 50% of this 4-minute candle. Now I ended up giving it like an extra half of a pip to take the entry, and I actually got triggered on my broker. Now I only took this on my prop trading account. I didn't take it on FTMO, and I didn't take it on my personal account. My personal account, the spread on GA at the time was like 4 pips. But I actually got pinned in on this, which was great. And then obviously it just took off from there. On some, I think on FTMO, this actually trades a little lower, almost into the 80% of the candle. But this was ultimately how I played it. It was off the reaccumulation, and I waited for the break of structure that happened here, and then played out of the shakeout. But going into what I'm waiting for now, it's just like I said, it's pretty simple. We have either have to wait for a new high. So I got my alert up here for the new high, or I want to see us trade below here, sweep these lows, and ultimately get in here, right? Yeah. So if we come back into this, I'll look for an accumulation. Now, why will I look for an accumulation, right? Because this is the slingshot and this is the extreme, because this is what's maintaining structure, right? Because this is our leg. This is our leg. So this is the reaccumulation that created that high. So schematic here or schematic here if we go lower. If we don't go lower and we go higher first, then I'm going to play out of here. Okay. Yeah. Accumulation on the weekly for sure. That was the whole reason I started buying in January, because of that accumulation. All right. So that's GA. Pound Swissy, I'll tell you right now, Pound Swiss is just been in like limbo for me. You could see I've got an alert up here. I'm waiting for a break above this. And if that's the case, then what we'll get is, right, we have an attempted distribution, 1, 2, 3 drives. If we get that, what do we have? A reaccumulation. So I'll play out of the cause of the reaccumulation. If we don't get that, right, this is still what's maintaining structure bearish, right? So if we trade lower, right, you can see I have a box here. I'm looking for an accumulation. I'll look for buys as we get closer to this 80% mark down here, but we're a ways from it. So I'm just stuck between, this area and this area up here. And until Pound Swiss does something, it's just going to be sitting here waiting for me. GN, so GN similar to GA, right? You could see we haven't taken a new high, right? So all of this is just noise, right? It's just noise. So we either need to make a new high or we need to trade lower. This is the slingshot that created not only this high, but this high up here. All right. This high up here, the new high off of the intraday, right? So for me, that slingshot's pretty powerful because we just have this massive reaccumulation, right? We have this massive reaccumulation. So this broke or invalidated supply, and it came out of this slingshot. Okay. So from just the lower time frame, I'm waiting for, you can see I got my alert here at 197. I'm waiting for an accumulation in this slingshot here or out of this lower here. Okay. If I don't get an accumulation, we trade lower, we trade lower, no big deal. I'll wait for it. I'll wait for it down in here, or I'll wait for it out of this reaccumulation. But until we invalidate some sort of lower time frame, I'm still going to be looking for this for buys. Okay. Yeah. So GN and GA are pretty similar. I'm just going to be waiting, and we'll see if I can get the schematics in either of these 2 points. So GU, I mean, the distribution is still valid, but the distribution hasn't broken any major structure yet, right? All we did is, well, actually what we did today is we tapped into my area of demand, right? So what I'm personally waiting for is I'm waiting to see if we do trade below here. If we trade below here, then yeah, we're going to come lower. But you can see we kind of just tapped right into it, and then we saw a really nice reaction. So for GU, I'm really not touching it, much like EU, until we either invalidate supply or we turn this into a reaccumulation, right? But GU is massively bullish, right? We are massively bullish. We can come, right? Remember, this right here is what's maintaining our intraday structure, right? Because this was our high. We came down and we made a new high. So out of that high, this is what's maintaining. And you could see this massive distribution that's happening. If that distribution gives us that pullback in either the slingshot area, right, or into our extreme, great. And then I'll take it higher. But it's just a matter of waiting for it. And if I can get this, great. If not, I'm just going to kind of wait and see what it's going to do. The distribution to me, though, isn't something I really want to trade. It's honestly been very flaky. Like it's just choppy as crap. Like you have your climax here, you have a test, you have a test, you have a test, and you have your UTAD. Price never really gave an entry out of the UTAD, though. You could see that we created that low, and then what do? We realistically did nothing. We really didn't see that push back into this to mitigate out. So I'm curious to see if this ends up just breaking this high and turning into a reaccumulation. NJ, what was I looking on NJ? So NJ, man. NJ came in, so higher time frame. Yeah, if it breaks the high, then I'm definitely going to be targeting it. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm definitely be going off of the reaccumulation. NJ I've been super bullish on. 4-hour candle sitting here. We came into 80% of the 4-hour candle to the T. And, what I'm waiting for is us to do something, right? There was an entry down in here off of the seconds time frame. But you can see we haven't even broken order flow with it. So this morning I was looking to see what we were going to do in here. We did get price to come back into this reaccumulation. The only thing I'm waiting, though, is I need us now to break order flow. So once we break this order flow here, then I'll be in a position to start really diving in and taking some buys on NJ. Like I'll be waiting for some really nice schematics. If we got a schematic in here, though, I would have pulled the trigger on it, but we didn't. Like for me, there's nothing. You could see, look, it's just a whole lot of nothing. So it did reaccumulate. Like here's your reaccumulation right here, right? This is your reaccumulation. There's your creek. I like this candle right here on the 5-minute. That does look pretty good. Like if this was peak London, peak New York session, I'd be interested in taking a buy out of that 5-minute candle to go higher. Can you go over the comparative strength between EU and DXY on the 1 hour? Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're in unison, man. I didn't see any divergence between them. Yeah, but on NJ, yeah, I'm definitely looking. I'm looking for the nice buys on them. I'll I'll dive into it. I'll look at it. Yeah, but I do like this. I do like this. It actually, I think, did GJ not have? I think GJ had a. No, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, no. Yeah, NJ actually looked like cleaner reaccumulation than GJ. And I think that's it. UCAD too. Like I'm just waiting on UCAD. You know, UCAD looks like the accumulation temporarily is playing out. Yeah, I'm kind of waiting to see. I wanted to see us break this structure point. I really don't consider that a really big sign of strength yet. But I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for UCAD up here. Right. I'm still waiting for UCAD up here if it gets there. Because right now, that's what's maintaining the intraday. Right. This is the previous high, and then we pushed in the low. So, you know, you can kind of see how UCAD's playing out. Yeah. Here, let's look at comparative strength between EU on the 1 hour and DXY, right? So yeah, they look pretty unison. Hold on, let's just see. So there is a little bit of divergence, right? I don't know if you guys can see it, but we have that right there, and we have this right here. So we've got a little bit of divergence on DXY and EU. So EU, in my opinion, EU is the leader. DXY is the laggard. So in this accumulation, right, we've got a spring. We've got a spring on DXY. So let's see. Here's the chart I'm looking at. Let's see what you got, bro. Is that the same? Hold on. Yeah, I think it's the same thing. Yeah, that's the same thing I'm looking at, right, bro? Yeah, it's the same thing I'm looking at right here. This right here and this right here. So yeah, this created the spring, and this confirmed the type 2. So off of this divergence, I'm hoping it doesn't, because I wanted this to come lower. Hold on, let's see. Yeah. It's given some really good divergence. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Does this mean DXY grabbed liquidity that EU didn't? Yeah, it's telling you that DXY created this created the spring or the UTAD, and EU didn't. So it's giving you that divergence. So EU is the leader, DXY is the laggard, right? So it's EU is giving you that determination of higher price action. So, but for me, I'm not looking for the buy until we either confirm a break of structure, or we trade lower into the area, into this box down here that I want to take the buy out of. So that's kind of what I'm going to be waiting on. Yeah. But yeah, there's definitely some divergence between it. I was looking at the same today between, like, I was looking at trading indices this morning. I was looking at SPX. What was I looking? I was looking at SPX this morning, but man, it just wasn't worth it, because yeah, look at that. Damn it, it did actually come. Did anyone get into this buy? Man, look at that, bro. Yeah, I was actually, so I was looking at it here. We had some really nice, clean accumulation. We had multiple type 2 accumulations into a reaccumulation, into another reaccumulation. I was actually looking for a buy in SPX. It just didn't give it to me. Where's that? Yeah, I was looking out of this area we're at here. That was my first area, and my second area was right here. This was my second area. But I was looking for an area. I was looking for this right here. Did it? Let me see. Did it? I'm almost positive it came into there. Oh, for sure it did. For sure it did. Yeah. Yeah, this was an area I was looking for the buy. But it just didn't give me a reason. But there was a lot of divergence between this and US 30. You know, so I kind of just stayed clear of it. I'm not gonna try to force something on SPX or on US 30 for that matter, because you could see US 30 is just making lower lows, right? You could see it just walking itself down, where SPX on the 15 is making higher highs. So there is some massive divergence going on with it. And it's just a matter of just waiting on it. What's your opinion on US 30? Bro, who knows, man? There's yeah, I mean, from a technical standpoint, it's bro, it's a mess, honestly. Like from an intraday perspective, right? From an intraday perspective, we're bearish because of this right here, and you could see we're maintaining it from that. Yeah, I mean, it's not, you know, I was looking at this area here, but we never broke above it, right? We never broke. If we would have broken above it, I would have taken a buy out of here. But we didn't do that. So now intraday is bearish, order flow is bearish, but SPX is bullish, you know? So, and if you look at SPX on the 1 hour, right, we've invalidated this distribution, right? We've invalidated this distribution. Where is it? Yeah, here you go. We've invalidated this distribution turn reaccumulation, this distribution turn reaccumulation. You know, so yeah, I mean, for me, it's I'm not even looking at it to really trade it. We're getting a lot of inconsistent price action, you know. So, and I'm sure it has a lot to do with, and I'd say right now, like tomorrow, we're going to see some fireworks with it, depending on what the Fed says. Because I'll tell you right now, like inflation's going to have a huge toll on how they're going to manage it, on what the indices do. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much everything I have on my list. I don't know if anybody else is looking at anything else. You know, I'm not, I've got a couple things on my secondary list, but nothing really that is anywhere close to where I want to take a trade from. You know, for the most part, you know, the yen crosses are what I'm kind of eyeing this week, and then the pound crosses. Yeah, CAD-J, Chef JPY, EJ, GJ are really on my top list, and then GN, GA, EA, EN are really what I'm looking at. My secondary list, yeah, bro, here it is. Yeah, that's my secondary list. Why the divergence? Yeah, I mean, a lot of the, so just keep in mind, right? Like the S&P 500 is 500 of the top stocks in the U.S. in the U.S. market, and the Dow Jones is the top 30. So you know, on the Dow side, there are a lot of the usual top performers are getting are getting slayed right now. The the biggest, I would say, like the biggest contributing factor right now to the Dow's drop is your the speculation that inflation is going to really, I mean, well, it's, listen, it is no secret that we are going to see inflation in the US. It's I mean, why people are still saying that, it could happen or it might happen, or the Fed, no, we're going to see it. When your annual budget just increased by a couple trillion, the money's got to come from somewhere to pay for it. So I could potentially see us seeing a pullback on indices. And that's why, right? I mean, inflation is going to hurt the bottom line on a lot of companies. And you're from a macro and a microeconomic standpoint, you're going to see that translate into the value of what these stocks are really going to be about. Does divergence between pairs like GN and EN work? So I personally don't use GU and EU to correlate. For me, I use GU and GJ. I use GN and GA. Yeah, for me, I personally don't use pound and euro to really to do anything. Like if you look, like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but like if you come over here and you put up GJ, right? Let's hide the drawings. Let's just go to a line chart. Let's go to like a 4-hour. Right? Like if we come to GJ, all right, and then we overlay it with EJ, I don't correlate them. I don't correlate them at all. Now, I do correlate GJ and GU. I correlate anything Australian. So like if it's got an odd in it, I correlate it to the opposite NZD. So GA and GN, EA and EN, AU and NU, NCAD and ACAD. Those, I correlate those. Let's see. UCAD and CAD JPY, I inversely correlate them just like I do on DXY and EU. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that and it's just, going back and looking at them and how they, oh geez, here we go. Trading View is acting up again. But when they were worried with inflation, NAS was falling and Dow was going up. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Tech was taking a hit, but just keep in mind this, right? Like from a fundamental standpoint, inflation is definitely worrisome to a lot. From a market mover standpoint, the market's not going to sell off until those market movers in investing in the Dow Jones start to worry. So, I would just, I can tell you this, there's a reason why I've been pretty domicile on indices of late. Is one, because we're at all-time highs and I don't have really any upside potential. Like I don't have, I can't say, okay, the Dow is going to come up to these equal highs, because we are at all-time highs. So if I don't see that, it is what it is, let's see. I'm bullish on NJ. Yes, I am bullish on NJ. I'm in a buy on NAS. Do you think it will keep going up? I mean, it could. Hold on. As soon as TradingView decides to play nice. Hold on. Give me a sec. Let's Let's see if I can get this up and going. So you're in a buy from 1402.5 on NASDAQ. Let's see where that's at. Mm-hmm. 1402.5. Oh, geez. What time did you get into that trade? Yeah, I guess my only question is, how come you're in the buy from there? You took it off the lower time frame here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I personally. I mean, if you're already at break even, let it go to let it do its thing. It was a buy limit, yeah, lower time frame, yeah, but so yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll tell you this, like, yeah. I mean, I'm guessing you took it out of here, right here, right? This candle here is where you got in at. I mean, that's where I would have got it. Yeah, that's where I would have got in. But the problem is, like, what's your potential on it? Let's see. Let me see if I could find it. 20. Oh, 12-minute. Yeah, it was 12. Did you take it off the 12? Is that where you took it off? It's probably where I would have taken it off with this 12-minute right here. Oh, wow. I would have lost my mind if I didn't get in that. Jeez, come on, bro. Woo. Yeah, I was going to take it and write it out. Yeah, I mean, just let it write out. I mean, I would, I wouldn't have been filled because that 50% would have been way too big of a stop loss. That would have been a 116-point stop loss. Oh, wait, no, wrong. This is FXCM. So it would have been what would that have been? 1408 to 14. So yeah, like a 12. Okay, that would have been a 12 point. That's not too bad. And the potential would have been, where's the high? As long as it's a 1 to like 10, I'd be happy with it, which I think it would have been. What are we talking? We're talking 141 points. So yeah, 1 to 12. That's not too bad. Yeah, if you're a break even, let it ride. I mean, it's Asian session, so anything's going to happen. Did we make a new high though? Did we make a new high? No, we didn't make a new high. Yeah, I mean, you took your partials. You already took the you took the trade. I just let it go. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you, but I mean, what are you going to take partials on? I mean, or what are you going to close out on? You're at, did you take it off the 50%? So if you took it off the 50%, you're sitting at a 1-to-1 right now. So, I mean, what was your partials? I mean, if you took your partials, yeah, no, I mean, it's up to you. Like I personally, for a 1-to-1, it's not even worth it for me. Yeah, it's not even worth it. I would just leave it open, and if it hits me out, it hits me out. If not, if I wake up tomorrow and we're higher, then great. Yeah. Let's see. What you got? Someone said BTC, right? So yeah, bro, crypto. I've been doing pretty decent with crypto. BTC. So yeah, I mean, here's my BTC. So we're still in phase B for me, right? We're still in phase B for me. So until we get one of two things, until we get a spring, right? So we get a spring, or we get a sign of strength. And right now, I don't have a sign of strength yet. So if we get a sign of strength, then this will be my STB. Obviously, this is your reaccumulation. This is your accumulation down here. So this is your MC, this is your SC. So you get a sign of strength. I'd be looking for pullbacks into here or into here to go higher. And at this point, you know, we could come down here, create a spring. This will be the STB, break of structure, right? And we get that. So that's kind of what I see with crypto, and I'm eager to see it. We're in a really nice area to do it. We're in a reaccumulation, so definitely demand is sitting here. So I'm just kind of waiting and seeing what happens, because in the crypto world, right, BTC is king. You know, BTC, if BTC starts riding some bullish momentum, guess what? All of these go green. So yeah, it's just a matter of waiting it out now. Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much what I got, unless anybody else has anything they're watching. You know, my watch list this week is pretty slow, just because yeah, there's not a lot of really good movement. A lot of it's either sideways or just without any real direction, and we're just getting, you know, some break of order flows both ways, sideways, upside down. You know, it's not really giving me true direction. So until I get a real clear defined area that I want to start playing off of, I'm just going to kind of like just wait back and see, you know, let the market finally decide what the hell it wants to do. Do I ever trade exotics? Like how exotic? Like I mean, I trade NZD CAD. That's about as exotic as I trade. Yeah. What are you talking about? USD Mexican? No, I don't trade those. No. Yeah. No. I don't. Yeah, I don't trade. No, I don't trade synthetic indices. No. Like, let me just ask you this. So when you look at like the most traded synthetic is going to be, where is it? Where's the VIX? There it is. Here's the VIX is the most, the one, right? So how the hell do you trade this? You know, like for me, it's yeah, this is not something I want to trade. You know, not only that, but I really don't know much about the margin with it. Yeah, I don't trade German 30. No, I don't. Ethereum, yeah, I mean, I'm bullish on Ethereum, man. Let me tell you, Ethereum is doing pretty well for me. I mean, I bought Ethereum last Christmas at like 558. So we're yeah, I mean, we're in a pretty nice area. I'm waiting for confirmation of this reaccumulation. You can kind of see already what it's doing, right? We had we had an accumulation here, 1, 2, 3 drives. I'm waiting to see if we can get this pop up, and you already see this distribution with the creek. So we get a pop up above here, I'll be looking for some more buys to take this higher. So did I buy any altcoins last March? No. Yeah, I did, bro. I did. Yeah. Bro, are you in Chainlink? Bro, Chainlink was, where's Link? Hold on. Yeah, I'm waiting. I got my alert here on Chainlink. I'm waiting. I did buy in here, but I'm waiting. I want to see it come. I want to see it come just a little bit lower. I want to see in here. So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, I did buy a lot last March. You know, I mean, XRP was the big one that I bought, right? Out of the daily accumulation. That's the big one I bought. Yeah. Yep. Right in here. I got in at 23 cents. 23 cents is what I got in. So yeah, keep an eye on Dot. Where's she at? Keep an eye on Dot. I'm definitely looking to add some more positions on Dot. I just want to wait for if we can get a push up. You can already kind of see the reaccumulation happening here, right? This to me is that reaccumulation. So waiting for that. U.S. oil, yeah, bro. U.S. oil is going to keep going higher. Just on the fundamental side, U.S. oil is going to be going higher. I mean, we're in the summer months. You know, U.S. demand is going to increase. They've already shut down the Keystone Pipeline, meaning we're going to be dependent on more oil. So demand is going to go up. Supply has gone down. What's that mean? Higher prices. So without even looking at the chart, I could tell you oil prices are going to go higher. Yeah. Oh, did you see that? I don't know if you guys saw this. If you guys don't follow like on Twitter, some of the stuff, but yeah, well, and I don't know if you guys, did you see what SHIB did? Look at that. So I bought this weekend. I don't remember where I bought, but I bought in here somewhere this weekend. And yeah, this thing already skyrocketed up, 75%, in the last 48 hours. So yeah. We're gonna see this. And I don't know if you saw, I know I posted, so some of you guys don't follow Shiba. So they're coming out with the SHIB swap. Yeah, they're coming out with SHIB swap. So yeah, here it is right here. So it's in the test phase right now. So this potentially, look what happened to Uni, look what happened to Quick Swap, look what happened to all these other stuff, yeah. And once Coinbase, yeah. And that's the other thing, right? Like Coinbase Pro, it's also they're also, well, here, I'll just wait. Let me go to my Telegram, or not my Telegram, but my, let me just go to my Discord. I'll just open up the stupid link. Yeah, for those of you guys that do crypto, man, Polkadot is finally going to be released on Coinbase Pro, which, if you're following what Polkadot, and the Polkadot network to me is pretty good. Where the hell is the crypto link? Hold on, crypto. There we go. So yeah, here you go. So I posted this today to a group. So this is on Coinbase Pro, and they're going to be releasing June 17th, Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific. SHIB is going to be listed, and DOT on tomorrow at 9 a.m. is going to be is offering DOT. So that's going to be huge. So I would just keep that in mind. All right. Yeah. I guess it was like Doge. No, yeah, it is. Well, I mean, whatchamacallit? I know Elon's an idiot, but Elon's calling SHIB the Doge killer. So yeah, it's yeah. I potentially can see. I especially if they come out with if they can come out with a working swap, and you're able to use it to swap, that alone is going to increase its value, because it's actually going to be worth something, so I don't even remember what I own. I think I own like 19 billion Shiba coins. I mean, if this thing goes up to a penny, I'm a multi-millionaire a couple times over just off of this, because like that's not even a number. I don't even know what you would categorize that as. So yeah. Where are they listing? Which one? You talking about Polkadot? Polkadot's Coinbase Pro is gonna list it. Yeah. Same thing with SHIB. SHIB's gonna be Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific, right? And Polkadot, right? Polkadot is gonna be tomorrow, so Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific is when they're listing. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's gonna. So I'm in here. I got in up here. You can see I got up in this price point, but I'm going to be looking. Now I'll tell you this, Polkadot, I'm definitely going to be looking. Just keep holding, man, because you can stake Polkadot right now. I mean, heck, you could stake it on Ledger for 12%. APY on your Ledger, or if you have Kraken, you can stake it on Kraken for 12%. So yeah, it is going to be a good ride, bro. It is going to be a good ride. I like it. Yeah. It's definitely some good stuff, man. I'm trying to think what other crypto thing that I've been following. I think that's it. Yeah, I mean, 1inch has made a really nice move too. Like I've been staking 1inch for a while. That Sunday drop, the 23rd, I got in here just around $2, and this thing is up already pretty good. I mean, I think it was like 201 something and change. I mean, this is sitting at 80% right now. Let's see. When Shiba gets listed, dude, in May, man. I mean, you guys remember we were on that call when we were looking to buy some coins on that drop, and Coinbase, I mean, everything was just down. So yeah, I'm curious to see what happens. TRX. No, honestly, I haven't looked at TRX on the chart. Let's see. Let's look at it on a Kraken. Oh wow. You know, this is, you know what this reminds me of is like ICP. You know, like I've been, if you guys aren't, I would definitely look at ICP, Internet Computer. Yeah. So I've been cost dollar averaging in. I'm going to buy some more. You can see I got in at 133. I got in at 104. Just the potential on this thing. I mean, when it first came out, look at this, look at, well, this is just stupid. It didn't go all the way up there, but when it first got listed, it was up around like $480. So I'm continuing to cost dollar average in on this. And I mean, this is at a really, really low price. I like where we're going with this. So I'm going to wait for an accumulation before I start buying any more ICP. Kishu, yeah, no, I'm not throwing any money at that, man. Yeah, I'm sticking to the only meme stock I have right now is that Shiba. But I'm sticking to obviously high cap, mid cap, and I have a couple low cap like Anchor and Engine and stuff like that, super bid that I'm definitely putting money into. But you know, I like the mid caps. They have some really good potential. Yeah. So, oh no, Solana's on there, bro. Yeah, Solana's on there. Listen, if you didn't get in on Solana when on that Sunday when we dropped, where did we drop? We dropped, here it is. If you didn't get in on Solana on this drop, then you missed out. Because I don't think we'll see Solana come down anywhere in the 20s anymore. It sucked. This was that Sunday morning, at least Sunday for me. This was that Sunday that we came right into this reaccumulation, and I had a buy order sitting right at like $22. So that's where that got triggered, and you can see what happened. We got a reaccumulation from here. You can see this distro. You know, I'd be waiting for another reaccumulation, and then potentially another buy to take this higher. But yeah, no, Solana is pretty good. And I know you can stake Solana on Exodus. I don't remember what the APY was, but I know it's double digit. I don't know if it's like 10 or 12%, but that's where I'm staking it. 10? It's 10. Yeah. I'm staking Solana on my Exodus wallet. So yeah, Solana's doing pretty well. Yeah. I'll tell you the other one, Kusama. If you have it, like again, that Sunday, the 23rd was a shopping day for me. So we came down to almost into exactly $200, but you can see I was looking in this reaccumulation area, this demand area that caused that next push. I got in at 225 was my buy. And this thing came up to 550. So it was over a 100% increase. And Kraken right now, Kraken's paying 12% for staking it. So I bought a couple Kusama coins. I was late to the party. I wish I would have got it at the beginning of the year when we were like hovering at like $5, but I did get in. Now the next thing I'm waiting for another big push is I want to see us break that high, and then any pullbacks I'll be looking. So I'm pretty happy with this entry down here at 225. And like I said, Kraken's paying 12% for staking on Kusama. I'm trying to think what else. Matic, the Matic network's another one. This was the buy of all buys right here. I got in here at 77 cents on that 23rd. I did have one at 40 cents, but I don't think we're going to see that. So, I mean, this thing pumped up pretty nicely, and now I'm just waiting. Are you lending them for the auction? What, Matic? No, I'm not lending them. No. So me personally, I'm staking Ethereum. Oh, Kusama. So are you talking about the, I am not, okay. Yeah. The parachain. Yeah. So I am going to do that because I think that's going to be a really, really nice investment. you know, I think especially because when that gets released, I think especially being it on the test site of Polkadot, I think it's going to really give a good, you know, an opportunity for a really nice push and a really nice investment. Yeah. Um, I'm personally and on Matic, I'll tell you right now, I'm staking Matic and Ethereum, right? I'm staking these. I'm staking Ethereum all over the place, but I'm staking Ethereum and Matic on the QuickSwap network because it's paying out like 142% in QuickSwap. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. If you're not staking your stuff, you know, I mean, honestly, that's where I'm making most of my money. If you go to QuickSwap and you got to have like, so I use MetaMask as my uh the top place. I mean, it all varies. You know, right now on QuickSwap, you could see right here, Matic and Ethereum is paying out 98% right now. And they're paying you out in quick. That's one of them. I'm also doing, what else am I doing? I'm doing Ethereum and Uni on Uniswap. Let's see. I heard Kraken is holding it. Wait, let's see. Holding it until 2.0 comes out. Oh, are you talking about staking Ethereum on Kraken? Yeah, no. I'll tell you right now, I only stake three things on Kraken. I stake Kusama, I stake Polkadot, you know, because this is 12%, this is 12%. I don't do this anymore because I actually stake my dot on Ledger because they're paying the same thing. And then the last thing is Kava. I'm staking Kava because they're doing 20% APY on Kraken. So this is the only thing I have on Kraken. For for Ethereum, you know, Ethereum and Matic is paying 98%, and there's sometimes, I'll tell you right now, there's some days where this is up like 150%. So it's every day it changes, but it's doing really nice. The other is, I think on what was it, like Uni, I've got on Uni. Oh wait, not Uni. 1inch. That's what I'm doing it. Hold on. I'm doing on 1inch network. Ethereum and 1inch is paying out, I want to say, here we go. Well, it's actually down now, but yeah, this was 12%. It was higher. It was like 30 something percent 1inch in Ethereum, but I'm doing it Ethereum and 1inch. Actually, Ethereum and Shiba on 1inch is also doing really nice. So let's see. Hold on. Ethereum. Hold on. Where is Ethereum and 1inch was actually paying pretty nice. Where is it? I'm sorry, Ethereum and Shiba. No, I don't know where it went. I wonder if they dumped it after this big push. Yeah, I don't see it now. Yeah. Let's see. Impermanent loss on what? Yeah, on what? So are these just places you hold your crypto to earn interest? Yeah, pretty much. You're just staking it. So yeah, like I still hold it in my wallet. I'm just staking it. Yeah. Oh really, impermanent loss? Well, I don't know. Yeah. Are you asking if it was an impermanent loss? Let me see. If the ETH, hold on. ETH. Oh. Let me just see. I know it was on here. There we go. ETH and Sheeb. Yeah, it's not on there anymore. It was on here. I wonder they either closed it or let's see. Yeah, it's no longer on here. It used to be on here. Yep. Celsius, good. Yeah, I like Celsius. Will it reach a penny? Yeah, I don't think it's going to reach. I mean, who knows? I mean, we have, I'll tell you right now, if it reaches a penny, you'll never see me on a YouTube video again. If it reaches a penny, like I said, I own like 12 billion worth of it. Um, yeah, I mean, it could absolutely. I mean, especially if they come out with their own swap. Yeah. How do you choose your crypto? Yeah, market cap has a big thing, but also like the project, like what it's doing. The other thing is I kind of rely on some buddies of mine who live in the crypto world, and they kind of give me some input on what to look for, and then I kind of just go off the charts. You have to have 50% Matic and 50% Ethereum. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How can they pay so much? Well, shoot. I mean, it's because that's just think about it. If they're paying that much, imagine how much they're making on the mining of it or the farming of it. Like I'm sure most of you guys know about like Superbid. Superbid's paying out 80%. Um, right? Superbid's paying out. Oh wow! Wait a minute. Look at this, bro. They dropped it to 40%. Bro, I'm gonna have to check that. They dropped Superbid to. It used to be. It was 80%. It was 80%, and I was getting 80% on Uni. So for doing Superbid and Uni, you were getting a total of 160% total. But yeah, when you're staking it, if you're staking it with the split, like Ethereum and Matic, right? You would need, it would be 50-50. Or sometimes it'll tell you like, 30-70, it'll tell you. Yeah. Yeah, it used to be, bro, 200, 400 G's, man. Yeah, they must have. I'll tell you right now, there's got to be something going on with Superbid if they just dropped the staking. But I mean, whatever. I've made pretty good money on the staking just on that alone. Um, is yours showing 40%? Yeah, I mean, this is where it's at. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. But anyway, guys, listen, it's 9:30. I'm about beat. I'm done. I'm ready for a little siesta. I'm gonna grab some water, and I think I'm just gonna chill out. Yeah, man, absolutely, absolutely. Definitely. I would you know keep tuning in. I'll drop some stuff. I will drop some charts in the Discord. I'll drop some charts in the public Discord here, and then go from there. Uh, yeah, yeah, awesome, awesome. Yeah, guys, listen, enjoy. Thank you very much for jumping on, and I will catch everybody later, man. Alrighty, have a good one.